We're going to talk exclusively in a second with Kristen Smith, Holly Bobo's cousin. But first, I want to go to Alexis Torres-Chuck of Radar Online. You've been following this case. What are the breaking developments, Alexis?
Well, the good thing is this is the first time in 3 years, it's been almost 3 years to the day that Holly went missing, that the police have actually been publicly saying that they have a break. They've searched this farm. It's only 15 miles away. It's so close to where Holly disappeared from. And it's been a huge process, days and days. Not only is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation involved, the Federal Bureau of Investigation is involved. They have really brought in the top people across the country. They have searched every inch of this property. But the one thing that they are saying is that they're trying to bring Holly home to her family. They're not saying they're looking for a body, although with a cadaver dog and searching the wells, it seems to indicate that. But what they've said in all of their announcements is they want to bring Holly home alive, and they think this property could give them some clues about that.
Holly's brother, Clint, was the last person to see her. Let's listen to this.
The silhouette of two people in our garage. At the time, I had no idea who either one of the people were, and then come to realize later that that was my sister and her abductor. That Holly was supposed to be in school that morning, and realized that that must have been her at the house. And then I looked back out and saw Holly and a male walking towards the woods, and that's the last time I saw her.
Clint said that the man with his sister was wearing camouflage. A neighbor says that she saw, this is crucial, this Zachary Adams, this character has been arrested, and his friends following Holly around at a coon hunt dinner about a week before she vanished. If he was at a hunting event, he's probably a hunter, which means he probably owns camouflage. We know he has weapons because he was just arrested for allegedly pulling a gun on another woman and threatening to gut her with a knife. Could he have targeted and stalked Holly? Kristen Smith, Holly Bobo's cousin, joining us exclusively by phone from Tennessee. First of all, my heart goes out to you and your family. I know this has been hellish for you. What is the reaction in your family to this break in the case?
Well, I would say that everyone is, the family along with the community as a whole is just ecstatic that finally maybe we are getting somewhere. This is probably the biggest break since Holly went missing. And so everyone is just very, very hopeful for some new information arriving in this case.
Now, Holly was last seen being led into the woods near her house. Blood, sorry to say these details, but it's part of the facts of the case, later found near her home. Investigators have always suspected that whoever took Holly was a local who knew the area. Listen to this.
Heavily wooded. We rode four-wheelers back there. We made our own trails. Just it's heavily wooded area.
Now, Kristen, Adam's home is just 14 miles north of where Holly was last seen. In other words, from her home. We've heard that whoever did this had to know the area well. He lives in a heavily wooded area. Holly's lunchbox was found in a creek about 8 miles from her home shortly after she went missing. And then we have all of this talk about how a week before at this coon hunt dinner, a neighbor says that this Zachary Adams, was following her around with a group of men and stalking her was the word that this woman used. I have to wonder, Kristen, since the authorities did search his property before, have they taken too long to connect the dots here?
Well, we have questioned that sometimes ourselves, but from what we understand, from my understanding, is that new information was brought to their attention, to the authorities' attention, and that is why everything is being researched and maybe starting to connect the dots now. Commenting on the heavily wooded area, yes, you would have to know the area in order to get to Holly, because it's back roads. It is a very, very rural area, and you would think it would be local to navigate your way around such wooded areas.
Was there any talk? Because I understood that even Holly Bobo's mother had heard about this stalking of Holly at this coon hunt dinner a week earlier. Was there any talk of that? In other words, did you feel like this was something that was, oh, it's in the air, there's some mystery guy, and now you're like, aha, this is the guy who was allegedly stalking her at the dinner?
Well, the information about Holly, quote, being stalked at the event here in town is kind of new information as far as the public. I'm not sure exactly everything that Holly's mother had shared with the authorities prior to this information coming out recently.